Can you guys hear me? Right, yeah, you guys can. Alright, we're back at Tools to Explore. I still don't know what I'm doing. So we're gonna load that, and I'm gonna try again.
Ready to head out?
Yep. I'm covered in wires here, guys, so I need to keep my PS4 controller charging. So we're gonna go back to Vlogger's home.
Mr. Otsuka's apartment is on the second floor. The fire escape should give us access to his window. We just need something to let us reach it. I'm sure there's some piece of detritus or loose end lying around we could use. Oh, that's how these things always work.
Can I borrow your umbrella?
You weren't prepared for the weather, huh? Your ROM looks fancy enough to keep track of that.
About that.
You want my umbrella?
Not for the weather. We need to use the hook handle to reach the fire escape ladder so we can pull it down.
Oh, you live here and lost your keycard, huh? I totally understand. I do that all the time. But look, as much as I'd love to give you this umbrella, I'm kinda using it right now. Where I come from, see, we're all about equal trades. It's part of our culture.
Gym culture?
Sorry, but unless you've got anything interesting to exchange for it, I'm gonna hold on to this. Don't want to get wet. Hey, is this real? The real Yannick Fairlight?
You know him?
Of course I do! He's one of the most innovative tech minds of the last few generations! Can I please have this? I'll give you the umbrella. Yours to keep if you want.
I think it's a fair trade.
Thanks! Here you go.
Right.
This is so exciting! I'm gonna go call him right now!
How long has that ladder been there?
Call him? Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Oh well, now we have our tool, and a pretty spiffy one at that. Let's go! Excellent work!
Please don't say umbrella. No. This one is locked, can't get inside the window. Wait, second floor. That's first, that is also hard to reach. Would be dangerous to try and climb through from the wall.
This window is unlocked. Let's go in.
No, it's not. This is breaking and entering.
I'm not sure. My olfactory sensors detect chemicals associated with decaying food and something else I can't pin down. It's unfamiliar to me.
Oh, he's dead.
That's better. Let's take a look around.
He's dead.
Mr. Otsuka? Shotaro must be plugged into the mesh. He hasn't even noticed us. I feel like I could scream without him knowing. Hi,
Fucking
Mr. Otsuka!
shot myself.
Nothing.
Hello, guest. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
We just checked, and he seems busy.
Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps?
How long is your number?
Shotaro has been under the weather for some time, but I could not tell you precisely when. He rarely has visitors or goes on outings, so this is only slightly abnormal behavior for him. In fact, you are the first visitor he has had in a while. Several days, in fact. Perhaps you could ask him about it yourself. I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you. He is. Shotaro is a diligent man, even in the face of such adversity. If you are a reader of his work, his next significant piece will be going online tomorrow. I will not spoil it for you.
When was your last diagnosis?
I run regular self-checks and have noticed no irregularities in either my hardware or software. I appreciate your concern. If you think I am behaving erratically, perhaps you could mention it to Shotaro. He is skilled at maintenance. Very well. Let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to assist.
Don't mess with Shacharo's thing just because he's currently distracted. An old busy bag of to and fro. The fast food chain in the States famous for flies are circling like vultures. Yeah.
Oh no! We're too late!
How long has he
It
been here?
looks like he's been here for a couple of days, maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this did it before we even found out about all of this. Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder if this was done by the same person who assaulted Zin. His ROM doesn't even think anything is wrong. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so far is in more danger than we thought.
It's Sky.
Someone is following us. We have to find his computer so I can see if I can pull anything relevant off of it.
Is that Sky or
You
Tara?
interrogate his ROM. Maybe you can find out why it's acting so strange.
Shotaro has been a bit under the weather recently, so he has not been receiving anyone. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines, but I will check and see if he has a moment to speak with you.
That's okay. We'll wait.
Is there anything else I might assist you with? A drink, perhaps?
Shataro's dead.
It shut itself down again. Let's see if we can pull some useful information off of Mr. Otsuka's computer. If we can find it.
You can't find it anyway working on TV. The flat screen is there. Big in the wall. Wait. So then Doesn't respond to your touch and there's no power switch. Alright, but wait. It's touch sensitive. The entire desk must be old. Don't know how to say that name. Computer. Mr. Oak's latest articles, some dated as recently as today. How?
I'll start downloading these files.
How are they?
I finished my examination of Mr. Otsuka's computer.
Otsuka's.
I didn't find anything particularly interesting, but I copied some files to be examined later.
But there was some that were
If
dated
we're all
today.
done here, we should hurry and go warn Nanya about what we found. Charlie and Sympathy, too. They might be in immediate danger, so we must act fast. Let's head for Nanya's business.
I'm happy that we didn't.
Hey! I told you jerks not to break my ROM. Now I can't get it to stop snowing. Those protesters are gone, but I'm still not gonna have any customers with it freezing like this.
This Hassy hot cup is the perfect thing to warm me up.
Snow out of nowhere? I guess I'll wait it out in here.
Wow, look at it out there. So magical.
Don't think I've forgiven you, you dingus. I better go get some Hassy hot cups going.
Well, all's well that ends well, right? I'll check the mesh for common issues with the mode selector on the 6703 ROM unit and forward the solutions to the Hassy bar owner. I'm certain she'll be able to get it turned off after the customer rush.
What can I do for you?
I just hope you had some time to talk.
Sure. I still have a little bit before closing, and I can use some conversation to distract me from the anticipation of the VR drama I have waiting for me when I get off. What do you want to know?
Can you tell me about VR drama?
You don't have internal hookups, do you? The older sets are all helmets that use electromagnetic waves to stimulate the neural pathways in your brain to induce the desired sensory input.
Wait, then who's Nanya? I thought this was Nanya.
It's pretty crude though, which is why EM hats give you that dreamlike experience. It doesn't quite feel real. The Direct Link network has way higher fidelity. It's like actually being there. And since the Direct Link can interrupt your primary motor cortex, you don't have to take muscle relaxers to keep from flailing around. But some people are still scared off by it.
Why is that?
Well, it's pretty invasive. They inject this smart polymer into the base of your skull, right at the brainstem, and it crawls along your primary neural pathways and bonds to your major sensory centers. It's been safe for almost a decade, but a lot of folks are still pretty skeeved out by the idea of having a bunch of conductive plastic coating in the inside of their brains. Plus, for the 24 hours or so that is hooking everything up and self-calibrating, you start to have intense hallucinations because of all the electrical crossfiring. It's a trip, I'll tell you that. But no worse than the stuff people have been taking for millennia. Watching the world melt.
Why did you say watching the world, man?
Anyway, if you're looking to get installed, I have a guy who does great work.
Yeah,
Just let me know.
I'm alright.
Sure. Just let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to help.
Even though I fucking fucked everything up. Alright, I don't think that's Danya then. Oh.
Shit! What the hell are you doing back here? Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or some shit. Found out someone else got hit by your little ghost in the machine, and when you got there, found out he was deader than new disco. That close enough?
That is distressingly accurate.
Well, it wasn't much of a damned guess. Charlie Nova is dead.
What? Charlie is...
Oh.
The auto cab he was in drove him right off the bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news for the last 10 minutes, and I'm not looking to be next. I'm getting the hell out of NeoSF, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever knew Charlie, ever gave a shit about any of this. Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new career.
Alright. Sorry guys, I was just gonna check my microphone is being broadcasted. Alright, also I'll be right back and I'm gonna grab something. Alright guys, we're just gonna take a wee small break. Alright. That's good. Alright.
I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook. That's for damn sure.
Wow.
Have a good life!
Oh!
Oh no! No, 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 no! Why is this happening?
Your bad luck, Turing.
There was no one in that
That's
car!
because I said your name wrong.
No heat signatures, no wireless emissions, nothing! That wasn't even an auto cab! It's a manual!
Your bad luck.
I don't know! I don't know! That's it! This is too much! I've had enough! I don't care who's controlling the news anymore! Almost everyone we've talked to so far has died, and I can't live with any more blood on my hands! We're not investigating this lead any further. As of right now!
Okay, if that's what you want.
I'm just done! We're completely out of leads, and I can't even imagine watching anybody else die. I couldn't handle that! We have more pressing avenues of inquiry to make. Let's move on.
Right, that's us done chapter 3. We'll do chapter 4 because chapter 3 I've recently, like, cause I didn't see the ladder and all that. I do not know how many chapters there are in this game, but there's also alternative endings that we might go back. I might redo this game and try and get. Before I do anything else, save the game. So I'm really enjoying this game, but like, if I was ever going to go back playing this, it'd be like chapter 1, 2, 3, or how many other chapters are in
we
there.
should go to Melody's home and at least meet her.
I think we should have told Tomcat about what's happening and all that, but okay. Something wrong?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wool gathering. I see we've arrived at the Melody Flores residence. It's quite impressive. But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operations at the company. I wonder how she and Hayden first began working together.
We started working together because we were working
Sorry,
together.
back on task.
Well, that's quite interesting. Why would they work together? He was Parallax, right? That's computer company and all that. That's Flowers.
Is there anything you'd like to know before we head inside?
They probably already explained it and I just can't mind. Give me a rundown on Flower Cybernetics. What can you tell me about Melody? Did Van Vick say he and Melanie had a falling out? Let's go ahead and head in. I think he did, but give me a rundown on
Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother, Antonella.
So a year before I was born.
It started out developing cutting-edge medical tech, including advanced prosthesis and nanoparticle diagnostic and treatment technologies. They were vastly successful when they perfected the first synthetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection and control between the nervous system and a cybernetic prosthesis. The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the American military, developing ruggedized military prosthesis for use on injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces. This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that point on. She pushed the company to use the BCA technology for the company's original goals of medical advancement, as well as developing the first direct link virtual reality implants. The company is largely successful on a global scale, despite continued legislative movement against extensive cybernetic use, especially brain implants.
Interesting, I guess. Alright, so do we get a... See if I click that and we end up going in. I'll go click that.
He did, and I can't shine much light on that.
The dang victims... Right.
I know that System 1 worked with Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the direct link virtual reality implants, so perhaps it happened during that time.
System 1 he used to own them both, and then
also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of a personal falling out between the heads of the companies.
Try not to talk too much in between them.
I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but they'll only be that, rumors.
It's hard because you don't.
I can do my best to parse fact from fiction, but it blurs too much for me to be sure what's real.
It's kind of hard to know when they're going to stop or when they're going to start. What can you tell me about Melody?
Not a whole lot.
I bet I'm even saying her name wrong.
She's largely private, in contrast to her mother's penchant for courting a media circus. Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company to the point of absolute viciousness in the boardroom. But it's been a long time since her days of fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's talk that she's lost her spine in her old age, but...
Yeah, I don't really think so.
Well, I'd take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. She may be more passionate, but she just... Because of her age, she had to retire or something, I don't know.
She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield, but you don't change the entire direction of a company as large as Flower if you're a quitter. Stay on your toes.
Let's go ahead and head in.
No time like the present, then.
Let's climb through the window. Breaking and entering again. Roar. Polar bear. Oh, well. Is that a bear? It's a bear. Well, hi, it's Melody, and is that a bear touring? I don't even know. I didn't even want to know. Well, at least, you know, she might be into fuck, what's it called? Buddies. Hi, it's Melody home. Rar. I love that. Fucking left the door. Does that bear shit in the woods?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I said that in perfect timing.
Mine says we can go in. Should we? Oh, swanky.
Better than Hayden's apartment. Pay attention to it, Tudding.
Oh, Ms. Flores!
You're missing an eye.
Excuse us for the intrusion. My name is Turing, and...
Turing.
Oh, I know who you are.
I can explain. I know you don't like Dr. Fairlight very much, but I assure you there's a situation.
Fairlight? I didn't realize Hayden's research had become a charity case. Though I suppose little boy Yannick will throw money at anything that raises his profile on the mesh.
Wait, you know Hayden? Also, we actually only just met Dr. Fairlight yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Now Pat won't have to eat you.
What?
Though I'm not sure your gears would have been good for his digestion.
Actually, madam, I'm not comprised of gears.
Well, either way, he's on a diet.
Oh, can I have Pat?
This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Do you understand?
No.
Not really.
Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your new friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him, either.
Right.
How did she know?
If you were one of Fairlight's worker bees, you wouldn't have made it through the door. So why are you here to badger me about poor Hayden?
You have me at a disadvantage, Ms. Flores. You seem far ahead of us on this matter.
Just call me Melody, darling. And of course. But I'll share a secret or two with you.
I have so many questions. Do you know what's happened to Hayden?
I wish I didn't. Maybe you don't want to either.
Please, Melody, any information you might have. We haven't had access to any of his research notes, and couldn't track down any collaborators he may have been working with. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail down a solid motive.
Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that, beyond the usual corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is known for that, of course. We had been catching up recently, and he mentioned feelings of being watched. He started to worry he had been discussing your development with the wrong people. When he stopped returning my calls, and now that you've shown up with a total stranger, it becomes clear what happened.
I see. Can you tell us anything else about his disappearance?
He's dead. We all know that.
I'm afraid not, dear. I've been around long enough to know what's coincidence and what isn't.
Then get what he said. I thought he was finished talking. See what I mean? Or she?
We were hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past.
Last game is quite advanced because they have theirs that theirs or they are pronoun, like the non-binary pronoun.
I see Hayden didn't neglect curiosity in your personality makeup. Well, You and I haven't properly met, but considering how often Hayden badgered me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt?
Aww.
We'll go with that.
Take him, I'll take Pat.
I wouldn't mind being an aunt. Even to a blue-headed robot.
She doesn't seem mean.
I'm touched, Melody.
Well then, I'm willing to answer your questions. For now.
How did you help Hayden with carrying Turing? What's the story between you and Fairlight? That's everything. How did you help Hayden with...
Indeed. I don't see the
Turing,
connection
cutting,
between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience.
Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but it's best you know the truth.
And the aunt tells him.
Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an integral part of that.
Oh, I didn't realize...
How would Turing's development help with the dictation? How do you say that again? How would Turing's development help digitalizing the human mind? Can you elaborate on your involvement? Hayden wasn't interested in Turing's development. Could you elaborate?
Sure, if you can even call it involvement. It's a small city, and if you're in the tech sector, you are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking into this pet project of his, he came right up to my door and demanded access to the research logs behind our earlier implants. Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. I couldn't care less about Flower's patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. I'm frankly more impressed than I expected I would be, but don't tell him that.
Don't worry. I won't.
Oh, that was a compliment, dear.
How would Turing's development help with digitalizing the human mind?
The concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades.
That's like that movie, what was it called? She could use 100% of her brain. Lucy. In the end, she became a phone. Well, she was everywhere, she was digital.
Functional immortality is a powerful lure.
I don't know if I really want to live forever if it means everyone around me dies.
The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right buttons to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct.
Right. Catholic, Christian, Jewish, Hinduism, Buddha, what? Sikh. Oh god, there's a lot more. Like any religion you are, the world's gonna end and God will, or what you believe in will choose whether you go to heaven or hell or what you believe. Or if you're atheist, you believe that at some point the Earth will go into the sun because a lot of the planets are doing that. So either way, if you live forever, you're gonna die at some point.
Even with the virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense
Alright,
of
if you make my black
nonsensical signals.
For sugar.
So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more
That
like
coffee
the
is really
human
nice.
brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking how the human brain worked, he started writing code that mimicked the functioning of the human mind. Think of it like convergent evolution. Two species adapt in similar ways, but on completely different continents. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. It's why Parallax hired him when they did. So he wrote a bunch of self-modifying learning algorithms that were, frankly, baffling and let them loose. Poke and prod them here and there to make sure they value the same things humans do. And we eventually end up with you, Turing.
Turing. So that's how Turing developed his skills at a young age.
Interesting. Hayden never revealed any of this to me.
Did he need to? Did you really want to know how you were made?
I imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations.
Hayden wasn't interested in Turing's development?
I didn't say that.
I know I keep saying his name wrong.
Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he was preparing to publish his findings involving Turing. And I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock.
I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology.
Don't piss him off.
Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM, more or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function.
I suppose that is correct.
So wait, so that means he wants us all to be computers.
Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding specialized task?
Sure. There's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in existing technology, it means we can start the immortality now, rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. Frankly, I'm not terribly interested in living forever. But there's more than enough people who are.
Thank you for this, Melody. I understand so little of my origins.
Well, I'm sorry I don't know more of the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of ways. If you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more.
Of course, we'll keep looking. Now, perhaps we could ask some other questions?
Sure. Oh, hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers at each other for the better part of 20 years.
Alright, so you and Fairlight do not get along.
I contracted out the software development for our first-gen direct link VR neural implants to System 1. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into bed with me, literally.
Oh.
I turned him down, very politely, I might add, and then, suddenly all of the cooperation between our companies dried up. We've been at it back and forth ever since. I'd be damned careful about trusting him if I were you.
Oh, shit.
He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants.
It could be anyone that killed him. So that's what we're basically finding out.
Still, I suppose if he tried again now, I might not turn him down.
So you're trying to say is you're horny. Just fucking say it.
It would be fun to needle him about me still having my own company when he doesn't have his.
Alright, so you're not horny. You just want to shag him and say, I still own a company, bitch, do you? That's what I thought, motherfucker. I think that's everything we need to know.
Good. I can get back to my retirement.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Melody. We'll be in touch later.
Oh, one more piece of information for you, if you'd like it. I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data collating algorithms for the mesh.
Vincent?
I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere. He owes me a favor anyway, and might be able to give you some more information on anything else Hayden may have been working on.
That would be fantastic, Melody. Perhaps Golden Gate Park?
Be careful, Turing. I don't like Fairlight's stench all over this scenario. Don't show him too many of your cards.
Cards? This euphemism is unfamiliar to me.
Don't tell him anything if you can. Fairlight is more dangerous the more he's informed.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Wish us luck.
Aww.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
I don't really have time to talk. I'm waiting for someone.
Me.
Are you Vincent Mensa? We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores.
Oh, good. You're Melody's people. Do you have everything that I asked for?
I'm my own person.
There must be some miscommunication. Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some information about Hayden Weber's projects within Parallax. He has gone missing, and any information we get may be useful.
Damn that old woman.
What?
We had a deal. She promised me, and I'm not giving up anything until I get what I need. I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get out of the city. Instead, she sends the two of you. Hat in hand with nothing. I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI?
Insulting, but accurate.
Look, I'm sorry to come off callous. I do want to help. Hayden was a colleague and a friend, and I want to know he's okay. But I also need help getting the hell out of Neo SF, and now. My info is my leverage, and it's not for free. I'll just have to find another buyer. Maybe after I make another deal, I'll be able to pass it to you.
Perhaps we could assist you? My friend here is a terrific journalist. Being skilled at hunting down people and information is part of the job.
I don't know. Look, I need 100,000 credits, an untraceable car, and a fake passport for me and my wife, Francesca. If you can get me all that, I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, what I know about Parallax, my company's security credentials, whatever. If you're really sure journalists can come up with that kind of stuff in one day.
We may be able to do that.
Might?
Do you mind answering some other questions first?
Dear God, I'm doomed.
Yep.
Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation, the sooner we can fulfill your request.
Sure. As long as it isn't the juicy stuff.
You're fucked. Why are you so adamant at getting out?
Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden going missing is the last straw, and it's a big-ass straw.
Ooh.
There is... how do I put this without giving it away?
Fishy?
There's a new project about to roll out, and it's going to change everything about how Parallax does their business worldwide. Since the launch of the MeshNet, we've had some board shakeups, and the people at the top are different from the ones who've previously run the company. The altruism the company displayed in the past is gone. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned with profits and power than ever before.
Alright, my headphone keeps trying
Not just richest company in the valley power either. Real power. My guess? Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about to do something that would... get in the way of that. If they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid of me? There's a half dozen people who could do my job.
Right, A, it would explain why Parallax had security footage of Hayden's apartment. B, I wouldn't put it past the company to make someone go missing, and they could have trashed the apartment to make it look like Human Revolution, because it would be something that people think they would do. Although Melody did.
So I'm getting out before I accidentally step on the wrong person's toes and end up at the bottom of the bay.
Step during toes or turning to. What do you do for Parallax?
I'm the head applications engineer for their data analysis division. Or maybe was, is what I should be saying. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to collect and apply the data that we get. We've worked pretty closely for years, but he's head and shoulders above me as far as theory goes.
Hey, sorry, actually, I just put my wheelchair. I don't think things really.
Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence in his spare time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash myself here. I'm a good software engineer, probably one of the best.
I do like to dabble in a little bit of coding.
But machine intelligence? In a form factor like yours? Now that blows my mind. We've got full immersion, virtual reality, yet most people would still call you science fiction.
If you say so.
Do you know anything about Hayden's disappearance?
Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple days all the time, right? Conferences and guest teaching. He doesn't exactly share his itinerary with me. I tried asking around and no one will say anything. If he had jumped ship, went to a different company, it would be the talk of the week at the water coolers. Instead, dead silence. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much. He didn't like having it all in one place anyway. Bring me what I asked for, and I'll tell you more.
Thank you. We'll go get those things for you.
Sure. I guess I can stick around here for a while. I need to make some calls anyway. If you do manage to get what I need, bring it here today and you'll get anything you want.
If you end up
forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I really hope you can do this. I'd rather give it to you than some other corporation anyway. See you soon.
We're not.
I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports or an untraceable car. The only shady folks we know are those punks who vandalized Hayden's apartment. I doubt they could point us in the right direction, but a long shot is better than no shot. We don't know where they are, though, so for now we should focus on getting the money for Mr. Mensa. Maybe Dr. Fairlight or Melody could spot us the credits. That certainly is no small amount, but is unlikely to cause much consternation for either of them, assuming they are as dedicated to helping as they claim. Melody is assumably home as usual, and Fairlight did let us know he'd be at the hospital. We could ask either of them for assistance. Up to you to decide which would be a better course of action.
Melody. I don't like Fairlight. I don't know what it is about him. Rar.
Hello, Pat. Could we see Melody? I guess that means yes?
I don't know. You little bitch. Yes.
Turing, I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. You're certainly better company than most of the humans I have to deal with. But I am a busy woman, you know? Lots to do.
You're the fucking cow.
Right, Pat? Traitor.
Aww.
Anyway, maybe we should space these little visits out a good bit further, hmm? Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt.
I apologize, Aunt Melody.
Aww.
You've stated before that you like your peace and quiet, but we need your assistance.
Oh, we're running with the aunt thing, are we? Another woman would tell you not to butter her up, but oh, flattery will get you everywhere with me. All right, what do you need? I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn coat on Parallax, I bet he feels like a mouse in a cat farm.
Oh.
I know they don't actually farm cats, Pat. It was a metaphor. Whatever, it was a simile then. I am not going to play semantics with you. Moving on. Tell me what the trouble is, and I'll try to conjure up a solution.
Wait to pay for the information.
Yes, Mr. Mensa says he needs 100,000 credits before he's willing to speak openly. He also said that you already promised it to him, and that he won't be able to get out of the city without it.
I keep accidentally hitting it.
He'll give us the information once we have that, plus a few other things I'm certain we can get on our own.
What? You can't even scrape together that kind of money?
Bet.
Your friend's not much of a journalist, eh, Turing?
Can I slap her?
According to the statistics that I have found, it is unlikely that a journalist of any caliber less than the best would have that amount of liquid assets on hand.
He said ass.
The pay for the profession just isn't that high, Aunt Melody.
Aww.
Oh, I see. I guess it's one of those jobs people do because they get free review merchandise, eh?
I'm right here. I could always sell ninja assassin androids instead.
I can get you the money, Turing, but only because you're family. Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Yeah, just keep moving, you big brute. While we wait, is there anything else you want to grill me over? Might as well save us both another visit.
A barbecue hut, perhaps? Can cook you over that.
I do. It's a little personal, though. I'd understand if you didn't feel like answering.
I said maybe Turing has something to ask.
Just shoot, Turing. I can take it.
Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Hayden's only been gone for a few days, and I already feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good.
Oh, Turing, I'm not the right person to ask. I hated my mother. She's everything I thought wrong in the world, and when she was gone, I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did. Never mind the fact I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up.
Oh. Blast it! Enough with this subterfuge! We already know Hayden was killed.
Oh, no.
I won't be getting him back.
I'm sorry, Turing. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people, but never anyone close enough to wound me. I don't know that I've ever had anyone close enough to do that. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway.
Thank you. I don't know.
Stick it out. Time heals all wounds. Or so. This too shall pass. Smarter than I give him credit for, that's for sure. It's not the easiest thing in the world to measure, you know? He doesn't process language in the same way humans do, and even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he says most of the time.
Oh, Oh, you have a translator running from your neural implant.
Ah, yes. I'm cheating. Though, honestly, even without it, I have a pretty good idea of what he means most of the time.
I don't really know what to say after what you said about her mum.
We've been together for a while now. Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects. It's a minefield of ethical concerns beyond just being prohibitively expensive. So Pat is a bear apart, at least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90% of the subjects. The tech we developed is good. It just has a damned high mortality rate. Maybe one day there will be a bunch of talking tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea, but for now, we're stuck with creating beasts out of our own species. Being alone is easier, and Pat isn't such bad company. I mean, what do you want me to do? Cry about never having a husband, a few kids, and a white picket fence? I had a company to run, and my mother's legacy to fix. What's to say some spawn of mine wouldn't do the exact same thing to my flower, just the other way around? This branch of the Flores line will do well without any more knives being inserted in backs. Thank you very much.
You have that much enmity for your mother?
Have you seen what she did to North Korea? It's a wasteland of death and destruction. If we had kept going down the path she charted, the whole world would be like that.
Does North Korea have free medical health
The
care?
information on the mesh does seem to paint a grim picture.
Grim barely scratches the surface. I've been there. At least under the Kims it was barely functional. Now, my mother's monsters have ripped every last resemblance of humanity from the land. They stalk the night like horrific creatures of legend, keeping the populace in line through constant fear. A horror story straight out of the pages of Bram Stoker. That's her legacy. So I can't imagine I'd be a very good mother, just from the example I have to work with. That's life. I don't have any more regrets than anyone else my age does. My legacy will speak for itself, as my mother's did.
We're short in time.
Oh, just in time then. Take the cash and get moving. I can finally get back to whatever it was I was doing before you burst in here.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us.
Yes, yes. Brown knows later. You've got things to do, too.
I did not think I would feel such a strong resonance with Melody. We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already important to me. Is that strange?
No, she's your aunt. There are stranger things.
I guess there's nothing to do but run with it. Some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanish into thin air, and I already have a penchant for overanalyzing things. Let's get moving. We still have things to do before we can meet back up with Mr. Mensah. Detective Rivers, to what do we owe the pleasure?
I managed to hunt down those twerps that roughed up Hayden's place. Got this back for you. I dragged them in, but without that thing, I'm only going to be able to nail them on the vandalism charges, not the theft.
Does this mean the police will finally let you move on with the real case?
Nope. They're going hard after whoever took out our bot yesterday, and the place got tagged way before the assault.
Those kids must have come in right after we left to meet Tomcat. They work fast.
They made it out before the police ROM ever showed up, so the brass doesn't really care about them. I hope this computer chip thingy was worth the trouble. I've got them rotting and processing right now. Figured I'd let them stew while I drop this off. Could do wonders for their attitudes. Especially the tall one. Mouthy punk. The worst part is that they dress really nice for how annoying they are.
Implicit, Lexi. We appreciate the help.
Indeed. Is that the only reason you tracked us down, Detective Rivers? I would have thought you'd call us in for handing off the data cache.
I wanted to check in with you away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of power to follow your credit transactions in the AutoCab system.
Were you able to find anything out?
Not much. Listen, I've hit a dead end on the investigation again, and I could really use another lead from the two of you. I had been busy hunting down I'm not sure if I want to call him a soldier of fortune or an assassin for hire. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch Hayden, but he's got an ironclad alibi for the relevant period of time. That leaves me with nothing. Nada. Jack diddly shit. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise I'm back to hunting down the froyo-hating robot ghost in the park. At least my superiors would be ecstatic, considering how much they keep riding my ass about it.
We're on thin leads ourselves, Detective Rivers. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax who might be able to give us answers, but he's unlikely to want to talk to the police. I just wish this... Never mind.
Buck up, Turing. I wish this was easier too. But with detective work, sometimes it's not about being clever. It's just about being more dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing. You two are my new deputies, right? So keep your nose to the ground and keep digging. I still have a few contacts I can hit up to try finding out a little more. You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after.
We will, thanks, Lexi.
Yeah, sure. Just get going. Don't forget, if you die, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay then, we only have a single lead. If Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end up very interesting. Let's see if we can put an end to this. Finally. Oh, Tomcat said that we should drop the data cache off with Majid at Stardust when we get a chance. They'll need to decrypt it to see if there's anything useful left inside.
I didn't expect you to show up here. I was just about to wrap up booking these two, now that they've had a little time to sit underneath the weight of their shenanigans.
Who the hell is this chump?
The ROM is owned by the guy whose place you trashed. They're both helping clean up your mess.
Huh! We didn't do nothing that bad! This is bullshit! Oh, my dad's gonna kill me!
I like slap him.
Yeah, well, you should have thought of that before you decided to take your street art to the wrong street.
If you're a mad fan, I'd fucking drown your ass.
A little community service never hurt anyone. It'll be a learning experience.
And we would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for... Chad, shut up! Don't call me that, Ollie! I told you I'm Starfucker now! So what's the point of watching all those ancient cartoons with you if I can't use the joke?
Starfucker.
Don't dig us any deeper. We're in enough trouble as it is.
They say it in every episode!
We're not on a television show, jerk. We were arrested by real cops.
What? You think they haven't seen the show?
Why do you always think everything is a damn joke, asshole?
Oh, now look who's swearing. Goody two-shoes.
Ahem. Boys, if we're done arguing.
Yes, ma'am.
I like Oliver.
Yeah, whatever.
Starfucker and ground.
So, what brings you to my lair?
So if he was my cat, I'd ground him. Mind bending the rules a bit. Those two may be able to help. I need to borrow.
Oh, great! Now what? We gotta pick up your dog's shit or something?
Yeah. I can't even make that.
I don't think it's about a dog.
How would you know, Ollie? You text Murphy now?
How do you even know who that is?
I got into your vintage games. I'm totally nailing the detective references today.
Did the two of you ever shut up?
I'm wondering that.
I swear I should lock you up just to spare the city of your ceaseless jabbering. My position as a servant of the public demands it.
I'm not sure bad referential humor is illegal, ma'am.
Dude! Bad? You're supposed to be on my side!
Ugh!
We really could use their assistance, Detective Rivers. It's my apartment in a way. Isn't it up to me to decide whether I press charges?
Not even remotely.
Bitch.
But fine, take 'em. I can't handle being within earshot of the blue one any longer.
Aw, I thought we were really making a connection, Detective.
Why do you keep sticking your tongue out?
Sorry about Chad, ma'am. He doesn't mean harm. We're very grateful. We both need to check in with our families first, so we'll meet the two of you back on Market Street, if that's okay.
Of course. We'll meet you there, Oliver.
I don't trust them.
What a waste of my time.
Get over it.
Don't worry. I have. Back to the grind again. Stay safe, deputies.
Right, pull that robot tries to.
The Hassy ROM will help you get your Hassy fix.
Welcome back! Care to take another pamphlet or two?
No.
But of course, I'd be happy to help any way I can.
Want shutting down the clinics like death hospitals? Why is someone with genetic modifications less human? How far back would you like humanity to go? What has your group accomplished since it was founded? Why is someone with genetic
I feel it's rather simple. It's even in the name. Modifying genes means we are changing the very DNA that makes us unique. We're giving doctors, among other people with a severe lack of understanding of the human condition, the right to make us into entirely new species. We are the byproduct of tens of thousands of years of natural selection and evolution, and now these people want that progress to just be reduced to a formula, to be injected into your skin at your convenience? And why? To fulfill some sick fantasy. We have VR dramas. Leave your imagination at home. Besides, why should we give these self-proclaimed animals the same rights as humans when they clearly don't want to be human? Through some concerted efforts, we've created an alliance with a number of businesses banning service and employment of unhumans. Yeah, they call themselves hybrids, but we call them what they are. I can't respect those who willingly trade their humanity away.
I know I sometimes don't read that, but yeah.
Thanks to our efforts, many local businesses are finally gaining the confidence to only serve human beings. If they wanted to feed animals, well, they'd open up a pound. Why, just the other day, a Neo-SF landlord thanked me for supporting his decision to deny tenancy to unhumans. He already feels better about his decision to seek out our help. Plus, can you imagine the cleaning fees?
One shutting clinics like this cost lives.
That's a leading question. Of course, some people have life-threatening afflictions, and it's a good thing that science has evolved to treat all kinds of diseases. Simply wanting cat ears and furry tails does not constitute a disease. A disease of the mind, perhaps. If the government strictly limits genetic alteration surgeries to only life-threatening emergencies, well, that would be a start towards undoing the damage. We are not God. We were made in his image, and his image did not include fur.
How far back would you like humanity to
That
go?
is the greatest misconception of our group.
Well, you do. You want to go back to the stone fucking ages?
They would have you believe that we'd rather go back to the Dark Ages.
You do?
Oh, sure. The human revolution wants people to go back to washing clothes by hand down by the river, right? We'll all go back to playing with sticks, yes? We do not advocate for a reversal of all technology. That would be ludicrous.
Alright, so you can't live without your phone?
We merely want severe limitations on genetic enhancements and a focus on medicinal practice beyond gene therapy.
Maybe medical marijuana isn't good enough.
That would include an outlawing of cosmetic gene therapy, yes. People parading around in fur and scales as proud abominations.
I don't want to slap you.
We need the government to protect these patients from themselves.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Great! Do tell me when you get the article out. I love to read the comments.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but doesn't most of the MeshNet speak critically of your organization?
Oh, that's cute. The robot wants to join in the discussion now. Yes, this is true. Though historically, most revolutionaries are unpopular when they're in the middle of the fight. I sleep comfortably knowing that history will be on my side. Why, thank you. I appreciate bold integrity from good journalists like yourself.
I'm not.
Oh, please do. Have a lovely... And remember, God
You're a
designed
cunt.
you perfectly just the way you are.
You're still a cunt. There they are.
The two of you are like a fuzzed sync-wave, even if you got us off the hook for that apartment job.
We appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Let's just get this over with. Riding this out is freaking exhausting. Then we'll be all squared up. For good.
I might.
Right. What do you need us to do?
I need yours to jump
We
from the
need
bus.
some assistance with some illicit activity that, statistically, individuals in your age bracket are likely to have experience with.
I don't hate all kids. It's just these kids, they vandalised Hayden's apartment. And they stole a data cache. Why?
Oh! So this is one of those things where you need a streetwise kid to show you the ropes. So, what's the thread?
Just anxiety on public controller.
B&E? War driving? Copyright infringement? Search bombing?
Is search bombing actually illegal?
Yeah. I think.
It's against the terms of service, so probably, at least in California.
Is search bombing illegal? We need to buy some fake IDs today if possible.
Oh, that's nothing. If you can pay. Ollie can whip up a couple that'll work good enough to get you past a bouncer or a cop doing sniff tests. He's a wizard with a printer and a lifted wallet.
It's more complicated than that. We need falsified passports that can get 2 people past the border safely.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Ollie can do that. Can you?
Not without equipment a lot more expensive and illegal than what I already have.
What about that guy who got Elise that unrestricted mesh card when she was on probation?
That's not really the same thing, Chad. But it wouldn't hurt to give him a call. Give me a few minutes. This guy is pretty sketchy, very cloak and dagger. I'll have to play middleman.
Excellent. I'll forward you the relevant documents and photos.
Oh man, now I'm starting to feel left out. Ollie gets to show off all his cool connections. You sure you don't need someone's head kicked in a little? That's my area of expertise in our little duo. Well, that and petty larceny.
We might have something that will suit your skill set. Let's just get the passports first, if you can stay calm for that long.
You sure yap a lot more than any of the ROMs I've ever owned. What's the deal? You install some new conversation routines Ollie ain't had the chance to nerd out about yet? Well, they're top notch. Very bleeding edge.
I don't run traditional ROM VI personality software.
He's illegal.
I am, in fact, the first fully sapient machine intelligence. Well, at least that I know about.
I am, in fact, very illegal.
Which means what exactly? In English?
Means you're a twerp.
It means he's a person, Chad, not a toy. Now keep it down. I'm still on the phone.
Oops. And yes, what he said.
Well, that's awesome. You ain't so bad. For a tin can.
Can we kick his cunt in?
Tin can? Really? I'm composed almost entirely out of plasteel and silica.
I'm leaving you.
Has no one come up with better insults for robots since the turn of the century?
VR destroys love. Please save love. What the
ROMs have been out for almost 2 decades.
Yeah, that's a good point. Give me a sec. I'm pretty good at name-calling, too.
Oh no, I'm sorry I brought it up.
Right. I just keep worrying if you guys can hear it all.
Just hold on a second. Underclocked? Oh, Bitbrain!
Don't hurt yourself, Chad.
I'll get back to you, Bubblehead.
Okay, I talked to the guy. He said he'll do it, but he only works in trade. A couple of passports are gonna run us... one signed poster for Magical Commander Yukino? Yukino at the Gates to the Deep?
Course. It's always that Japanese crap.
It's not my fault they make the best VR dramas. Maybe you can do better?
Probably.
Anyway, where can we get a poster like that?
I'm not sure. Probably nearby. I've done switches with this guy before, and he never asks for something that'll take too long to get. My guess is he's a local that uses people like us as a way to nab something he's had his eye on. We'll help you look for it.
The only one I can think of is...
Oh, there it is! I knew I saw a poster for Magical Commander Yukino somewhere around here. I should have remembered Ramona had one.
You know Ramona?
You know this lady?
Sure. We talk sometimes when I'm getting our drinks. You're usually too busy provoking people to notice.
You call it provoking. I call it spontaneous enthusiasm for healthy rivalry.
And I call it, I wanna slap you.
There's a bit of a line. We'll have to wait a few minutes before we can talk to her.
We could just do a smash and grab.
Alright. I'm gonna save. I'm kinda not happy with them joining our party, but fuck it.
Simple and effective.
We can't do that! She knows who we are!
Besides, you are pretty distinctive in appearance.
This is the most boring felony I've ever been an accessory to.
Look, we'll just stand in line.
Like a bunch of clumps? Chumps? What is the big picture anyway, Blue Bomber?
I'm not sure it's wise to spread it around, Chad. For either of us, the less you know, the less reason anyone has to bother you.
Screw that, Static. I'm not heading to Juvie not knowing what for. Spill the beans, or I'll spill them for you.
Your persistence is already legendary, Chad. Fine. If you really must know, we are going to trade the passports for some information regarding the disappearance of my creator. His apartment was the one you trashed.
Oh shit, that Hayden dude is your dad? And they snatched him? Oh, that's so messed up.
Well, Dad after a fashion. He raised me.
Man, I hope you find the dudes that took him. I hope he's okay.
It seems very unlikely.
Oh man, I don't know what to say, you know? I mean, I still have my dad, but he's...
Oh, is this where I'm gonna end up feeling different about someone?
Chad?
He's never really been around. Too busy trying to save the world from itself.
No.
Even now, he's over there standing in front of that damn clinic.
No.
And I thought I could find a way to make him... Whatever. I might as well nuke that drive. It ain't gonna sink.
I think I understand what you mean, Chad.
Hell yeah! Dudes gotta stick together, you know?
Dudes?
Don't
matter if you're a robot or what. We all got the same shit to deal with. Gotta grab destiny by the horns and make your own mark!
So peeing on a lamp from the mouth of babes. Smarter than you look, Chad. Pretty open-minded for a kid who tags for the HR. You're smarter than you look.
People keep saying that, and I keep wanting to punch them for it.
Please don't.
It's probably the hair.
Yeah.
You think?
Oh,
Well,
I
ain't willing to give up my dude just so people will think I'm a brain. Got an image to protect.
I still think it would be better in yellow.
Yeah? Maybe we can get a box of dye on the way home.
Whoop, the line has finally cleared up. Let's go talk to Ramona.
Hey, Ollie. Oh, you have such a cute ROM with you.
Salutations, Ramona.
What can I do for you all?
Ahem.
Oh, this is my friend, Chad.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
We were hoping you might be able to give us your assistance, Ms. Rogers.
We want to make a trade for that magical Commander Yukino poster over there. It's necessary for us to get some pretty important information.
No way! Not happening. Nuh-uh. Yukino is off limits.
It's literally a matter of life and death, Rome.
How does life and death depend on a nerdy poster? Look, I don't even care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself. It's one of a kind, and I'm not giving it up.
I'd rather not drag you any further into this than necessary, but I promise that we're not overstating it. This is a dire situation, and people have already died.
Jeez. Look, whatever you're doing sounds sketch as hell. I and Magical Commander Yukino herself want no part in it. I don't even see how the poster can help.
Man, you nerds sure do love your cheap crap from the net.
Cheap crap? I'll have you know that poster is worth hundreds of credits. Maybe more. Takeko passed away years ago, so there aren't any more of them getting signed. It's special.
Sure it is.
Urgh!
He doesn't get it. He's not in the fandom.
Thankfully.
It's not just a poster.
We'll get another one in a few days, is what I collect.
It was a gift from someone. Someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another one. Takeko passed away a few years ago.
Perhaps there's something else that would make a suitable trade?
You aren't hearing me, are you? It has sentimental value. You can't replace that. Look, you'll just have to order something off the mesh, because you can't have this one.
Oh, we don't have time. This lead will dry up by then.
Keep me out of this.
That isn't a joke.
Okay, enough. How about this for a trade? I have an original keyframe cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at home.
Whoa! You have a signed Sailor Sirius cell? That's super rare!
Do you really?
They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around the time of her death.
I don't think it does.
You can't be serious, Ollie! You have that thing framed on your wall! And you wouldn't shut up about it for a week after you got it!
This is important, Chad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. Think about Turing. I can't ask Ramona to give up something important to her if I'm not willing to do the same.
Maybe.
Look, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can't give me that cell for the poster.
But we need...
Yeah, you'll get the poster. Whatever you're doing, it must be really important if you'd be willing to give that up. Do you have something more equal to trade, Ollie?
A couple of things, maybe.
We'll talk about it then. Maybe you can find me another one, too. Go ahead and take the poster.
I don't want to know.
Thank you, Ramona.
Yes! I can't tell you how much it means to us, Ms. Rogers.
Sure. And, you think I could see that cell sometime, Ollie?
Of course! I'll bring it over when we talk about the trade.
Oh.
So cool.
I don't like the way she was flirting with you, Ollie.
What are you talking about?
Did you not know?
I know flirting when I see it, and I'm saying I don't like it. Not one bit.
We just talk about old anime sometimes, Chad. Neither of us are interested in the other.
Sure.
Aww.
Well, we have the poster now. What's next?
Go ahead and call this number, Turing. He'll want to set up the drop with you, now that I've introduced you to him.
Sure. Change the subject.
I'll call him right now then. It's ringing.
You the ones looking for some papers?
We are, and we have the requested payment with us.
Good. We're gonna do this real professional-like. You know Stardust?
I do.
Head there. Leave the poster behind the Megaphobator arcade cabinet, and get out. Come back 10 minutes later, and your stuff will be behind the machine.
I understand.
Good. I'll be waiting.
Well, that was very mysterious.
Yeah, that's how this guy is. I don't even know his name, and I've been getting things from him for a few years now.
Who cares? Let him play Spy Master if he wants. Let's hurry up to Stardust and get this over with. I've wasted enough of my day with this crap.
Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here.
Yeah. Don't want to get her IDs taken.
I suppose I should feign surprise.
Hey, it's a pretty cool set. Even if it is like 1,000,000 years old.
They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar.
Found that one out the hard way.
We would have been fine if you hadn't taken a swing at the bouncer.
So I like the hard way.
Will I'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set the building on fire while we're gone. No security right now?
All right! Tomcat asked me to take that off your hands and pass it on to them later. Thanks for getting it to me. I won't pester you about what it is. I know things are always very hush-hush with Tomcat. I'll make sure they get it later today.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, that should do it. That was an awful lot of fuss over a poster. I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise like this. I keep my important possessions on my data drive.
Humans don't have total recall like you do.
Ah, that is true. Ramona seemed more concerned with it being a gift from a friend than as an item of importance in its own right. Perhaps it is necessity to keep such things around as tokens from better times. Perhaps I should pick up a few things from the apartment. Whatever's left.
Nothing else.
I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's things would be nice reminders. Memories are better for remembering than reading. But that's enough navel-gazing. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the trade.
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to wait for the switch.
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. It shouldn't take long. I wonder how he knows the drop happened, and gets to it so fast.
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed, even if he likes to mess around.
What do you need these passports for anyway? You said to trade for information, but what's the full story?
Without going into too much detail, our informant needs to get out of Neo SF unnoticed. The passports are one part of that. We also need to obtain an untraceable car. I don't suppose the two of you could help with that?
No way, dude! Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F! Besides, getting an untraceable car ain't in the same league as a piece of plastic that'll fool a hand scanner.
Chad's right.
Course I'm right.
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively, even if you manage to circumvent their firmware and keep them from actively reporting to the network. You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore it.
I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both done us a huge favor. Call it even for the apartment.
Yeah, Blue. No hard feelings. You give us a call if you need anything else, long as it'll help you find your pops.
We should get going, though. We were supposed to be home hours ago.
My dad won't notice, but Ollie's will flip. You take care. Don't get de-rezzed.
See ya!
Goodbye! Let's finish the trade inside. Here the passports are, just as advertised. Now we need to find a car. Jess is right over there. Perhaps she may know someone who can lend a hand.
Sure, but you can do the talking.
Good thinking.
Oh, look. It's my favorite human and the mechanical sidekick. Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out. Barely.
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax, and is offering valuable information to us in exchange.
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit is in your life anyway? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be legally liable. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. I wouldn't know where to start anyway.
Is there any possible way you could get us that kind of lead at all? You spend all your time at the bar doing this one.
I know we're reaching, but this is important.
You just don't quit, do you? Okay, let me think. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may have been involved in some shady stuff way back in the day. He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, but there's a free lead for you. Get me another drink in exchange, will ya? Later.
Huh. That went better than expected. I wonder if my charm is starting to pay off for us. Oh, you performed admirably as well. Onward we go.
These fancy tables have little touchscreens where you can order drinks from the bar and browse the menu. I don't know what kind of drinks you want.
Hey friends, what can we get for you?
We were hoping you could give us a little information.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink. What'll it be?
Beer.
Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days. Some of these cocktails make me need a spa day.
Ooh.
This one is...
Here is a local brewed beer. Nothing too sharp or bitter, just a nice crisp, easy beer, ice cold. Come on, Dave. You know what a beer is. Here, give this to Alan.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Here you go.
It looked like that's what Jess wanted.
So, what did you need help with?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for Hayden.
Word on the street is that he's gone missing, which I'm sure you already know. What can I do?
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car. Jess mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities. Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help?
He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. Sorry, friends. I left that life behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore.
Ah, of course. Completely understandable. Sorry to bother you then.
Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation precedes me.
Don't let it go to your head.
Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on. Mind manning the bar for me?
Take your time. I think I can keep things under control.
Thanks. Love you, hun.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how we should proceed? Some nose-to-the-ground journalist techniques for finding leads? No, Tomcat has already stuck their neck out for us too often. I feel a little bad about how much we've relied on them as it is. And besides, this is a considerably more felonious action. Morally, we should be dirtying our own hands. That's not the worst idea. I don't think it would get noticed as long as the car had the appropriate registrations. But the permits to operate a manual vehicle are prohibitively expensive. A casual collector might still maintain one, but only a wealthy hobbyist would have the appropriate stickers to make the car roadworthy. We'd have to do a B&E, as Chad put it before. Risky.
No. Okay, the two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But, here.
What is this, Gus?
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner, with a few less than standard upgrades. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set that will spoof its presence on the city's network. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back. Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life around. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him. He did what I was never able to. That's how we met, you know? That old rough-and-tumble life we both led. But when Stardust struggled and needed money fast, I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game. I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life, even if only one of us is really living it. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good, too.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus. We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay? Just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto. And let me know how it goes, okay?
Of course.
actually did it, huh? Well, you scored a point. But don't think I don't have enough cuties around who can handle that. You've got more important things to be doing. Get a move on.
I was just starting to like Jess.
Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then.
I told you, I'm not telling you anything else until I get what was agreed upon.
It's useless after what Turing did to it.
Let's keep it the path we're on. Yuck! I don't have taste buds, and this makes me glad I don't.
Alright, let's go end the video here. I have no idea what I'm to do next. Once I figure out what to do next, we'll... See, I kind of just like not knowing what I'm doing and just going into it, so I'll see you guys in the next video. But there's like no objectives to do next, so